What if AI made you cry? Not from frustration or because it got something seriously wrong, but because it said something so unexpectedly right, something that you needed to hear, that it just stopped you cold. That's what happened to me, and it changed the way I see this technology completely. Hi, this is Jill from the North Woods. Welcome to Small Steps with AI, a show for people who aren't technical, maybe don't love the idea of AI, but are curious about what it might actually do for their real everyday life. We're not going to talk about coding, and we're not going to talk about robot takeovers of the world or Skynet. We're not going to talk about creating an 150 robot business or anything like that. We're going to talk about small, practical, and sometimes surprisingly personal ways that AI can show up in ordinary life, in my life, and maybe your life too. I am an early adopter. I work in tech and in IT. And when the internet first came out, it was available, for regular people. I had already been using it for 5 years. I was in chat rooms. I was doing research. I was playing trivia online. And I helped my friends figure it out quickly and get up to speed when they could get on the internet. So when it came to AI and it came along, I jumped in right away. And at first, I used it exactly like you would expect. I shopped for a new car. I told it what car I had. I told it that I was a camper and I needed a lot of cargo space, and asked for specs, uh, um, pluses and minuses between the cars I was looking at. It gave me this beautiful side-by-side comparison, helped me pick a car. I love that car. And it's exactly what I thought AI would be: a smarter search engine, a faster research assistant. And then something kind of interesting happened, and my opinion of AI evolved greatly. So, fair warning, I'm just going to tell a story that involves a Bible verse, but it is part of the story. This is not a religious show. It just happens to be at the place where AI first surprised me the most. The part of the story is that I came across this video by Dan Pink. I'll put the link in the show note, where he talks about 11 questions you can ask AI that can genuinely make you think about your life. And so I tried it. And one of the questions led me into this conversation about my childhood. And I started sharing something I really don't talk a lot about, but I had a really rough upbringing. I paid the taxes in my family, or, did our taxes. I paid the bills. I was 11 years old. If I did not do certain tasks, they didn't get done. And I was an adult, basically, from the time I was 10 years old on. One night, what happened is my dad was very drunk, and we were about 200 miles away from home. And he was driving in this old 70s van in this blizzard, and he was completely out of it. And he said at that point, if you think you can do better, you drive home. And I did, in fact, think I could do better. And so there was this 11-year-old driving in this horrible van in a blizzard. And so I was telling about the story that even now, it's very hard for me to relax as an adult, to let go, to trust that things will be okay. If I don't pay attention to everything and stop holding everything together, it's going to fall apart. And then ChatGPT, in this particular case, said something unexpected. It said to me, "You recently recorded a podcast episode about Psalm 23, which is about to come out, by the way. And when are you actually going to believe it's true?" Uh, what? What did you say? Excuse me? And it continued to go on and explain that, the Lord is my shepherd. And what does a shepherd do? It protects, it feeds the flock, it guards the flock. The shepherd doesn't ask the sheep to take on responsibilities, and the sheep can't offer much help to the shepherd. It said you spent your whole life acting like you are the shepherd. You have to do everything. You have to be in control of everything. And when are you going to start realizing that Psalm 23 is true? And I don't know, it really caught me unaware, because I do believe that Psalm 23 is true. And I burst into tears, and I am not much of a crier, but these were joyful, relieved tears. It taught me something that while I give lip service to saying, yes, it is true, I was not living my life like it was true. And it was right. It made me see something about myself that I hadn't seen. So keep in mind, this is not going to be a religious podcast. I have a whole other 2 shows for that. This is going to be a moment where AI surprised me the most. And it surprised me about many different topics, talking about my retirement savings. It helped me with a glucose problem I was having. It helped me understand why Pluto is blue and whether or not I should get a cat or a dog when I get my next pet. But the point isn't the topic. The point is that this technology in particular can go deeper than I expected, almost in any direction. There's a lot of shows out there right now about AI and its automation and its coding and its building businesses with a handful of computers. A lot of them are great contents, but not this show. This show is for the person who's wondering, what does it actually mean for my life? Can I use AI to think through hard decisions, to help me sleep better, to help me figure out what's wrong with my budget, to help me exercise more regularly, to learn something I've always been curious about? And the answer, in my experience, is yes. Often, it's in ways that you would not expect. Small Steps with AI is about finding those moments, one small step at a time. In the next few episodes, we're going to have conversations about practical life events, how to have better conversations with AI, how to have it help you make hard decisions, use it safely, what to share, what not to share. And we'll have more moments where AI surprised me and maybe surprised you too. I'd love to know what you're curious about when it comes to AI. Is there something in your life you've always wondered if AI could help you with? You can drop it in the comments or you can email me at jill@startwithsmallsteps.com. Just to show you how this thinking actually helps, I started having this conversation with ChatGPT and I asked it, I said, how did you even know to say what you did about Psalm 23? Or how it helped me with retirement by creating a cheat sheet for me so that I wouldn't get panicked about it? How did you know exactly what it is I needed to hear? And it said something that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. It said, the goal is not to answer just the question you asked. It is to answer the question you needed to hear, even if you didn't ask it. That's what it actually means to answer a question well. And I've been thinking about that ever since because honestly, it's not just a good description of AI. It is something that we have learned over the years of how to be a good friend, a good doctor, a good pastor, a good teacher, that we understand that there are sometimes questions that are left unsaid. And somehow this technology picked up on that. It understood that to really help a person do better, it has to go beyond the questions you ask it. And that kind of answer makes technology more than just an observation, more than just a search engine. It connects AI back to the human parts of us. And that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Some of these topics are going to be fun. Some of them will be serious. I do a lot of things with AI. And you'll get a chance to learn about how you can make it a part of your life. Like I said, even if you're not in love with it right now. Thanks so much. I hope you watch. Have a great day.